An assassin turned revolutionary era vigilante seeks redemption and the heart of a woman. Is it worth watching? Find out when I look at Beyond the Mask on this week's Indy Christian Review. In April 2015, Beyond the Mask broke the record for debuting on the most screens in the history of on-demand theatrical distribution. According to Box Office Mojo, it grossed $1.2 million during its run. It came out on DVD September 8th, and I was able to get what may have very well been the only copy that came to my town. Much like Alone Yet Not Alone, which I looked at last week, I've been hearing a lot of hype about Beyond the Mask for quite a while. It's really gotten me excited to see it. So, does it deliver? Let's find out. William Reynolds is the top assassin for the East India Company, and his final job before retiring is to steal a report detailing the company's atrocities before it can go to Parliament. He succeeds and takes the report to his boss, Charles Kemp, who... Oh my gosh, is that John Rhys-Davies? They got John Rhys-Davies in this movie? Cue up the Gimli memes! Kemp doesn't like hearing that Will wants to quit, so he arranges to have Will blown up by a... car bomb? Okay, so we're doing steampunk in this movie. I can go with that. Just give me a sec to get into the right mindset. Okay, let's continue. So yeah, 1700s car bomb. Will survives thanks to the intervention of a vicar who happens to be riding nearby. Unfortunately, the vicar is killed in the ensuing chaos, so Will decides to take his identity and make a new life for himself. Injured and unconscious, his horse happens to take him to the home of Charlotte Holloway. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. Over the months that Will recovers and acclimates to his new life, Will starts to fall in love with Charlotte. But then she wants to introduce him to her uncle.
This is my Uncle Charles. Uncle Charles? Stephen Walters.
So Will is back on the run and goes to America, where he dons a mask to both thwart Kemp's plans and earn Charlotte's love. This was such a fun movie. It's got so many great elements to it that makes it a fun ride. Some warnings for parents, though. If you're looking for a movie that you can use to teach your kids some true history, probably not the movie you're looking for. Big chunks of the plot heavily rely on steampunk-style sci-fi elements. Not that that's a bad thing, just know what you're getting yourself into. Also, not to nitpick or anything, but I'm pretty sure guys in the 1700s did not have beards.
Actually, while being clean-shaven was a general fashion of the time, it was not uncommon for men to have beards. In fact, there are several portraits from the time period that portray men with beards.
Thanks. And you are...
Upset that you killed off Mr. Researcher in the last season, so I'll be here if you need me.
Okay, but how did you get in my house? Anyway, suspension of disbelief aside, this movie does have a lot of great pros, and a few cons. Production design, cinematography, music, gorgeous, top-notch. Acting, fantastic. Story, Okay, the beginning third was good. Good pacing, I could tell what was going on, great character introductions. The last third was great. Action-packed, high stakes, and an epic conclusion. The middle lost me a bit. It hits a point where it feels like to me that they were cutting out too much to keep it moving. For example, and without giving any spoilers, there's this one part where the bad guys do a thing to try to mess up Will. But I had a hard time figuring out how they knew where to be to do the thing. If you've seen the movie, you probably know the part I'm talking about. It just felt like there were chunks of information missing that we needed to know. It's only 103 minutes long. They had some room to add a few more scenes, in my opinion. But like I said, once it gets to the climax, it's great. It ends well, and that's important for any movie. And while it didn't give us any blatantly sequel bait scenes, it's open-ended enough that it could very well have a sequel someday, and that would be pretty cool. I mean, I would love to see a Christian movie have a sequel that didn't lead into an End Times franchise. So, just how worth watching is Beyond the Mask? Acting, 5, no question. Writing, the middle was choppy, but you could still follow it. I'll give it a 4. Most of the story is good. Production values, like I said, gorgeous, 5. Overall, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. It's a fun movie with great themes of honor and redemption. I really, really enjoyed it. You know, in a way, Will kind of becomes a superhero, what with the mask and Benjamin Franklin's newspaper calling him the Highwayman. Wouldn't it be cool if this was the beginning of a new age of Christian superhero movies? What do you think? Would that be a good thing? If you're watching this anywhere besides IndyChristianReview.com, head on over there and leave a comment and let me know what you think about the idea of Christian superhero movies. And don't forget to subscribe and consider becoming a patron on Patreon at patreon.com/storyteller. Until next time, may God bless you, and may God bless independent Christian films.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who chose to oppose his shield must yield.
Wait, hold on. One more thing I forgot. I don't do enough counter gags on this show, but there was two things in particular that really jumped out at me and that happened a lot in this movie. So while the credits roll, we're going to count off the number of times Will falls into water and the number of times he busts through a door or window. Oh, and there was one gag I really, really wanted to use, but it's from the end of the movie. Don't want to spoil anything. So if you've already seen the movie, and only if you've seen the movie, click this annotation here to see an unlisted video of the first thing that came into my mind at the end of the movie.